Hello, everyone. It's Choicey from the I Live to Encourage. As you know, International Widows Day is June 23rd, and I have my cousin here, Cornelius White, who's going to share his story of how he overcame as a former widower. So I'm going to relinquish my stance, and I'm going to go ahead and let him introduce himself to everyone.
First off, peace and blessings, everyone. Peace and blessings. Secondly, thank you, fam, for allowing me on your network, to share my story and the progress that I have made since 2019. Uh, First off, how I can start from the experience of losing someone that was so significant to me, my first wife, Alexis Elder, which was Alexis White. I was with her since she was 15 and I was 16, and we had to learn each other on that path and growing older and mature into the wisdom that I have now. A lot of the things that I have done in my past, I wasn't aware of, but after getting closer to the Creator and my spirituality, I'm not religious or Christian, I'm a spiritual being, have a human experience. So upon her death, it was like, how can I say that? It could be considered for me as a rebirth. I was like a dead man walking because the pain was so excruciating. It was like into my internal bones. Like I felt it within my soul because it was something unexpected. We know that she had got diagnosed with epilepsy or seizures, which she never had anything throughout the whole term of us being together from boyfriend, girlfriend, all the way up to marriage. And for this just to come out of nowhere was like ludicrous, went going to the doctors, getting everybody to check her out, to try to validate what was actually taking place because she had like two wrecks back to back. She had one wreck and she fell off the side of the freeway on 610 in Stella Link. She went off the feeder, ran into the trees and the bushes. She said she didn't remember anything that would had happened. And when the police arrived, she still was like in a delusional state of mind. So they reached out to me, and at the time of this incident, I was actually on the phone with her. So I'm just screaming, "Babe, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on?" She's just nothing, nothing. And when the police arrived and she came back into her conscious, I guess she was saying that she had an accident. I wasn't worried about the car. I was just making sure she was fine and trying to get to her. So after that time, we brought her. She made it home. The police bring her home, towed the car, and we started going to doctor visits, trying to figure out. The doctor was. We went to one doctor, and they said she was crazy, and I went off on the doctor. Like I literally went crazy. Like ain't nothing wrong with this woman. Something else is going on. She went to another visit and found out that she'd had. I take that back. I'm moving too fast. Then I bought her a car, another car. The next week she had another accident. And that's when this police came. And, when they came, the same thing happened. She wasn't aware of it. So that's when we went to another doctor and they diagnosed her with epilepsy, which I never heard of or knew anything about. So after all of this, we went to the visits, and just tried to find a solution rather than just, considering what's going on. And she had got into a really like stressed out mindset because she didn't understand what was going on as well as myself. We prayed, went to the churches, tried to get people to pray about it, like figure out what was going on. But we really didn't come to anything. And fast forward, probably about what, 9 months, 10 months later, I'm starting a new job and I was rushing to go to work. And my mom was like, "Go kiss your wife, tell her you love her." I'm like, "Man, I'm late." And it was just like a demand, "Go kiss your wife, tell your wife you love her." So I went back, kissed her. She said she loved me and grabbed her, and I went to work. She normally called me around 6 every morning or 7 before the kids go to school. So I I started feeling kind of like some type of paranoia, like something was wrong. I kept calling, nobody picked up. My son was in the game room. I called him, he didn't pick up. I called my little girl, Cornelius, she didn't pick up. And I started freaking out. So I started looking at the cameras to see was any movement, anything. It was no movement. And then I saw my son, RA, he was going to school. I saw him going out the door to go to school. So my little girl called me back. What's up, Daddy? I was asleep. So I felt a little like, okay, go check on your mom and ask her why she didn't pick up my phone calls up. And at that moment, that time, I would never forget my little girl running in that room and just start screaming, "Mommy dead, mommy dead." It was like a part of my soul left, you know. I'm like, you got I'm like, no, 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 you know. It was like some type of deja vu, you know, like I experienced this before, you know. I'm at work driving this truck because I was in training at Waste Management. And that feeling was something that I'll never forget. So I'm calling the management like I got to go home. I'm almost about to drive the truck off the street. And so I tell my little girl to go call, tell her brother call the paramedics, you know. So they're trying to she's in frantic, she's just screaming, and I'm trying to call the 911 on the, and I'm way in like Pasadena at the time, and they're telling me, "Oh, sir, well, you got to calm down." I'm like, "Ma'am, my apologies, but it's like I need somebody to get to my house." So they had to transfer me over to where I stayed at because where I was when I called 911, it wasn't in the same area. So they had to transfer me to the area that I was in. So I finally got to the 911, the police, the dispatch, or whoever you want to call it, and they dispatched somebody to my house. I made it to my job, drove my car. It was raining very, very bad. It was like I was in a movie, a horror story at that moment. I'm jumping in my car. On the freeway, it's raining. I almost have a wreck. Finally, make it to the home, and to run in the house and see my wife just still like that. It was like something that I'll never forget. You know, I'm kissing her, hugging, and trying to wake up, but it was just one of the moments that I'll never forget. And it was one of the most excruciating pains that I ever felt within, like an internal feeling. So yeah, that was how that kicked off of losing my wife.
Okay, thank you for that. I have a few questions. Do you have any regrets from your past marriage?
Yes, I have a honestly yes, and I tried to repair some of those before she died. Because I wasn't perfect, and I made a lot of mistakes in my marriage. I loved the hell out that woman, in which everybody know that I was a provider, protector, but I just had a problem with women. You know, I was a young man, and the circumstance that I was in, and I don't. I look back now from what I know now, the wisdom I have now. I wasn't the leader that I am now. You know what I mean? I'm thinking because I was in a position of financial stability, and you can pretty much say I just love women, and I'm not finna sit here at that time, you know. But before she passed, I had to prove to myself and her and let her know, forgive me of the things that I have done to you, because I wasn't abusive. I was just I love women, you know, and that's what I was raised up in from the neighborhood, you know, money, women, you know. I'm thinking that was the life or the path that I was on, which I know now that it wasn't. But I had time to rectify a lot of that by showing her that I was the man that she deserved by being an honest king that I say. You know, that's why I changed my name to King, because I'm royalty and that was my queen. But at the time, I wasn't playing my position, you know. I was allowing things outside of myself to dictate my actions. And I thank God for the renewing of the mind and the spirit to know now that I'm that king and I have to be a ruler or a conqueror of everything that I'm doing. So before she died, we had a lot of time to spend with each other. You know, we took a lot of trips, and it's not based off of the monetary thing, but it was more of me showing her that I was appreciated of everything that she done for me and the kids. You know, because I wasn't aware of like spiritual warfare and things of that nature at that time. I trusted in God, but I wasn't into the scriptural or learning His word and then applying it. You know what I mean? I didn't know anything about uh, law of attraction, manifestations, the mouth, and these things of that nature. So I had to really, I think that death awakened my awakening, you know, to bring me closer to the Creator, as well as becoming more of the king that I say I am.
Okay, so my next question: what are you most grateful for this time in your life?
Just the renewing of the mind and the spirit. And when I say that meaning anything outside of myself I can't control. if, well, I'm not going to say if, from what I'm learning based off of knowledge in biblical scripture, these three passages has really changed my whole life. So a man think it. That's in the scripture. I learned how to govern my thoughts. Life and death lies in the power of the tongue. I govern my mouth and how I feel. And I can give a quick analogy of losing my son. I wanted to do some very dangerous things to others that had nothing to do with what went on because of my pain and my hurt. But God at that moment gave me a epiphany. No, you have to, you can't be moving forward and then allow the enemy to come back and make you go backwards. And when I say that, I mean, like, how can I be moving forward, but anything outside myself can deter my peace or my happiness? My happiness and peace is not carnal, meaning it's not based off what I have, what I'm doing. It's based off an inner peace within myself, and I'm learning that. So after going through all the things that I've been through, my happiness comes with me. It's self-preservation, meaning I don't allow anything outside of myself to control or dictate me. I do unto others as I want done to myself. That's in scripture also. So I treat people how I want to be treated, even if they don't treat me the same way. I just distance myself. I love everybody, but at the end of the day, this is my life and my journey and my path. And my path is more on the spiritual aspect because it's teaching me how to carry myself in a way and with the Christ conscience, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So these things has changed my mind frame to get me to the point where I'm at in life, but it's just being more transparent and honest with myself and those that are around me. A lot of people wear masks, wolf and sheep clothing. It's always a motive. Now, I'm honest and very transparent. If it's something I don't like, I express it. But at the end of the day, it's a way of doing things, and so I learned how to do things the correct way with the best knowledge that I have.
Okay, so my next question. What advice can you give to others who may be grieving now a loss of a spouse or just a family member in general?
Uh, After losing her, honestly, forgive yourself for the things that you done wrong in that relationship because nobody's perfect. And everything is a learning experience. It's based off not being a part of the problem, but being part of the solution. I had to forgive myself for a lot of the negligent with like the women. That's probably the only thing that I can say that I did wrong in that relationship. Other than that, I provided for her, I protected her, I made sure everything was good with us and the kids. I did that part. But at the end of the day, none of that matters because me at that time in that state of mind that I was in the world. And in the scripture it said, be separate, come from among them. I didn't really understand that analogy until I had to just keep educating myself, studying and learning more of the wisdom and of the Bible, scripture, and not just saying the Bible, but learning from others. You know what I mean? I do a lot of studying and educating myself now. But anybody that's going through that experience of losing someone that they love dearly, forgive yourself, knowing that you did the best that you can do at that moment because nobody's all knowing but God, the creator, right? So at that time or that state of mind that you're in when you with someone you love and then for them to be taken away, that's God's will, not your will. You know what I mean? You forgive yourself because if he woke you up, that means he had a purpose. For anybody that's listening up on the sound of my voice, he woke us up, he still have purpose for our life. So we still have purpose. For those that he allowed to not be here, we have to pray for their soul and continue to move forward because at the end of the day, we still here and he still has a task for us to do. And that's what I'm here now doing. Like even with this conversation with you, I'm speaking my truth and my experience. Maybe it'll help somebody. I had to learn pain, and in the scripture it said, to whom much is given, much is expected. I never understood the meaning of that until I became who I am now and doing the thing that I'm doing now. I have so much responsibility on my plate, and people see the nice lavish things that I'm doing, but they don't understand the inner work and the outer work I have to do behind the scene that they don't know nothing about. So that's why it says, be mindful. be mindful of everything. And I'm just learning how to not judge nobody, hear people out, help when I can, but be a better individual myself. And that's my purpose. Working on myself daily. If you wake me up, that's another day to become better, to do better than I did the day before. I'm not trying to control anybody. I'm not thinking I know everything, but I may have wisdom, but I still know nothing. I'm learning every day. You feel me?
Okay, so my next question. What do you do like to relax, maybe like to relieve stress or something? What's a hobby or something that you may have picked up since then?
I picked up a lot of great things that I was already implementing with her and my family, because I'm very family oriented. I love my wife. I love my kids. And upon the learning about all this spiritual warfare, I really started digging deeper to wanting to have a better understanding of what does the Bible mean about like spiritual warfare. What is spiritual warfare? A lot of people are like, what is that? But for me to understand, because in scripture it says we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but wickedness and evilness in high places. So I'm like, okay. So a lot of the stuff that I'm dealing with is really not carnal, it's not flesh. It's spiritual entities that attack behind the scenes, because it's more than the eyes, because it's more than meets the eyes. And after studying and listening and reviewing so many different things, I came up with the analogy like, no, I just have to learn how to find the peace within myself. And the peace within myself is knowing that I can't be attached to anything or anyone. Even bringing up my wife, it's like I love that woman with everything in me. I think I loved her more than I loved myself at the time. Even though I did some deceiving things, but the love was there. But we have a jealous God, and you can't love nobody more than you love him. So these things taught me in my new marriage, but in just life general, to just appreciate what I have and work more for the things that I desire. It's like the faith of the mustard seed that's in the Bible. So I have faith in the things that I want to do, the things I like, and some of the hobbies. I love traveling. I've been to like 40 some plus different countries. I love meeting new people, going to experience new cultures, new sightseeing. I don't club, I don't party, I don't do all that anymore, and it's nothing to nobody that does that. But after being able to know the thing that anything I ask for in his name, I shall receive. So meaning I just visualize what I want, look at different resorts, different countries, and that's something I want to experience, because this life we live in is pretty much you manifesting on a daily basis. And people may not understand the things that worry you, that's like you praying to God, He gonna give you more to worry about. So why would I want to worry or stress about things when I can just think about the things that I want? And that taught me a lot. It may not make sense, but if you actually think about it, I think about the things that I want to experience or have in my life rather than me worrying about something that I don't want to experience. For example, if you have a bill or something, oh man, this bill got to be paid. I'm not finna sit here and stress about, oh, I got to pay this. It's going to get paid. If it don't, I'll figure out another solution. I keep my mind on what I want. And that faith right there for me is open up other avenues in my life for God to give me the resources, so I don't worry about money. I don't worry about bills. All my bills paid. I'm healthy. I'm only focusing on, you see, the thing that I'm doing. I'm traveling. I'm experiencing life, taking my family. My baby is only 3 years old and she's been to 10 different countries. So that's part of that, the relaxation, because I put a lot of in work daily. Like I put a lot of work in daily, you know, and that's a thankful that he give me that strength to get up and keep going, even through all the trials and tribulations that I've been through. But in the scripture it says, he that endures to the end shall be saved and reap that reward. I want my reward, and I'm not finna let no devil in hell stop me. You feel me?
That's good. That's awesome. I haven't even been to 10 countries. Um, so that shows me how important legacy is to you. What are you doing now since you experienced so many losses in life? What are you doing to make sure that when you leave that your babies don't have to worry about nothing?
I already put things in place. Like I talk a lot. I share a lot of different things with the friends and families, and different people that follow me on social networks. But behind the scenes, I'm doing a lot of great things with my. I have businesses started. I have a lot of people around the world that invite me to participate in different venues to generate money. So I'm learning. I don't just throw things around anymore now because I have to learn because I went through it and experience with trying to invest in something. I lost a lot of money. So now I educate myself on everything I do. I'm not in a rush to do anything. And but upon that, I talk to the creator. It's I have a 24/7 conversation with the creator, and people may not understand it. God say, "He that is in you is greater than he in this world." So that kind of triggered me. And I'm like, what does that mean? Then he said, if I am in you, you can do all. If I am not, you can do nothing. I'm like, man, he said, I will be with you from now until the end of time. So I'm like, pretty much God is within me. So I start living on the terms knowing that the creator is experiencing me through me, meaning his spirit is in each and every one of us on this earth. That's just my analogy. People may see it differently. From my interpretation of studying and educating myself and listening to so many other great people, uh, I just look at this as my analogy, just because God is everything, but just this is an analogy. The ocean. They say it's over 8 billion something people in this world, right? So just imagine God is the ocean. That's just a analogy. But he has a drop of everybody. It's 8 billion people. A drop of that ocean is God and it's still full. Everybody is experiencing God. He's experiencing everybody through them. He give us free will. That means we're a conscious creators. We're co-creators. You know what I mean? Meaning life and death lies in the power of the tongue. You can speak what you want into your reality. Second, you can think. Your thoughts become your reality. And people don't believe that. I got into quantum physics, quantum mechanics, and as well as the scripture. And after analyzing and studying both of them so much, everything that it says they run together. So I just started applying that, meaning, like, say for instance, I want a car. I'll go look at the car. Say for instance, I don't have the money. Okay, I don't have the money for it. I get the picture of that car. I go to the dealership, find ways out. How much is that car? I go look at the car, go touch the car. I want to feel this car as if it's already mine. This is what I want. I don't worry about how the money is going to come or how I'm going to get it. But believe it or not, it's like magic. I always get what I want because I have that faith of that mustard seed. And people are, oh, you crazy. Well, if I'm crazy, I'm living life on my term and I'm doing everything that I'm thinking. You actually seeing what I'm doing because that's what I'm actually thinking about. I'm not here jealous and envy of my brothers and sisters or talking down or marking or lying or trying to tear another person down with my mouth. I use my mouth to build. If I don't have anything positive to say about nobody, I'm not finna say nothing negative. Now, if I do have something that I don't agree with, I'm gonna go to that person individually. But I'm not finna go tell somebody else to go back and tell them, no, that's slander. That's negative energy that I'm putting out in the universe. I'm focused on positive energy and high vibration and high frequency. So those are the things that I've been educating myself on and gathering myself to the point that I'm at now. Being a better walking vessel for the Most High, not perfect, far from it, but learning daily, doing my due diligence to be a better spirit, having a human experience, and just enjoying and consciously creating my world.
That's good. You gave some great advice today. You opened my mind to some things I hadn't even thought about, and you refreshed my mind on some things that I knew, but I just hadn't thought about in a while. I just want to tell you thank you for taking the time to come on the platform and encourage someone else. Let people know if they want to reach out to you for some advice, or just business conversation. How can they reach you on social media?
Well, first, for your followers, they can get with you because you have my communication. Secondly, I'm on Facebook. I just started getting on TikTok, and there's going to be Cornelius White. Pretty much everything is Cornelius White. Cornelius White. And they can go follow me or Google me. But, I said it to say, I want to give you this. I'm going to leave with this. I know nothing. I allow the spirit of the Most High that's within me, that's within you, that's within everybody that this message may touch. The truth set me free. And when I say the truth set me free, be as honest as you can in this reality. Be yourself. We're not out here trying to impress nobody, worry about what others say. Everybody is imperfect. God is the only thing perfect, the Christ that walk here. I'm working on the Christ conscience to understand, to love, live, and be thankful, because it's not about what you have. I didn't been to the bottom of the bottom and I didn't been to the top of the top. But at this point in my life, I'm so thankful and grateful for everything I have That's the only thing I can get more of is grateful, because I'm showing grateful and gratitude every day for the Creator. Because anybody that woke up this morning, He has purpose for our life. You have to think about how many people that didn't wake up this morning. You got to think about how many people fighting for their lives in the hospital. You know what I mean? How many people wishing that they would be able to be on things like this, to talk to one another, to walk around freely, to go to a job that they maybe not like, but it's still providing them. I'm thankful for everything that God allows me to do, because I'm thankful for that, and I work for what I want, So I'm not in that pity party or crying and this and that going on. Even when my son died, my wife died, it hurt. Yes, it hurt. But at the end of the day, He gave me the strength to move on, because it's better days. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thankful for everything, but I'm just grateful to be able to come and speak my piece, my truth. I know nothing. I'm still seeking more knowledge and understanding daily, but I'm just grateful for the position that He has me in, the people I meet, and to be able to come out and just speak my truth.
Okay. There you have it, people. The great Bambino.
King shit, baby. Yeah, you see them bills back there, that's king shit. Yo, 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 man. Love, fam. It's all love, man.
All right. You have a good evening. Talk to you
You,
later.
you too as well, Queen. Thank you. Peace and blessings.